such a crowd here this morning. This is awesome. Well, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Community Health Endowment, thank you for being here as we release the latest version of Place Matters 4.0. And at this time, I'd like to recognize other trustees that are here. I see Pat Lopez and Janice Walker and Marilyn Moore right there. So thank you guys. It's the work of the Board of Trustees and all of the partners that really help make this happen. So thank you all. So what is Place Matters? What began as a document to assist CHE in allocating grant funds to the community has evolved to an impactful, strategic, and educational community resource. CHE released the first Place Matters report in 2015, followed by subsequent reports in 2017 and 2019. Today marks the 4th edition of Place Matters, and this is just an important, hugely important resource to our community. So what makes today especially meaningful is that we are in a place that was born from the Place Matters work, Schroeder's Park Wellness Campus. After using Place Matters to understand the health concerns and disparities in this area, the campus was strategically developed to promote health and wellness for this neighborhood. This is a place transformed, and today it features a state-of-the-art grief center, mental health services for individuals and families, a renovated park space for room for neighborhood connections and celebrations, community gardens, an expanded early child care center, and indoor space for neighborhood meetings and events like we are today. I speak with pride saying that this place, Schroeder Park Wellness Campus, represents the impact of Place Matters. And to think it all started with a map. I want to take a moment to recognize the partners in the Schroeder Park Wellness Campus. With representatives from these organizations, please wave at us. First of all, Morning Hope Grief Center. Morning Hope, and they have offered to do a tour after this event for anyone that's interested. Lutheran Family Services. Nice to see you all here. Lincoln Parks and Recreation. Thank you. Community Crops. And Willard Community Center.
And I bet Janelle would give you a tour as well.
And I bet Janelle would give you a tour as well. We had hoped to be outside and have the kids here, and obviously the weather in Nebraska does what it does, so we get to have wind instead. Well, now I'm excited to hear Lori Seibel. Oh, and we've also got Derek Vance, trustee member. Thank you, Derek, for joining us. I'm excited to hear Lori Seibel, CHE's president and CEO, tell us more about the mapping. Lori?
Thank you, everybody. It's so exciting to see you all here, not only because today is a special day, but because you represent so much of why we do this mapping work, and you're the ones that are putting that into action, and I'm just so excited to share this moment with you. So people often ask me more and more, do you ever get tired of talking about maps? And my answer is always no, because I don't really think I'm talking about maps. I'm talking about Lincoln. And I care about this place, and I care about these people, and I love watching Lincoln get better. And I think the maps are our way of making that happen. So I want to release to you some of the maps that we will be releasing to the community later today. They're going to tell us things that we knew. They're going to tell us things we didn't know. They're also going to remind us that we have to keep working to make Lincoln a healthier place. So first of all, Lincoln has seen a slight decline in poverty, and this data is from 2019 to 2.5%. That's good news. However, for the first time, there are 2 census tracts that have more than 50% of people who are living in poverty. That represents about $25,000 for a family of 4. Most strikingly, I think what we can tell from these maps is that among the census tracts where poverty is greater than 30%, the average life expectancy is 72 years. For census tracts where poverty is less than 5%, the average life expectancy is 82 years. So that is what we need to continue to work on, the knowledge that poverty is the cause of causes. It's what causes so many other things to go wrong. And it is a key factor in determining if we will be a healthier community. Assuring that women receive first trimester care or care in the first 3 months of pregnancy should be a community priority. I think Pat Lopez would agree with me that it's simply a public health standard that we should all aspire to. We know that a healthy birth and a healthy pregnancy certainly is the precursor for a healthy child, and that also means a thriving adult. And so our goal in this community is that 90% of women would receive care in the first trimester. In 2019, that percentage was 79%. So we have some work to do. And we also have to understand that some of the lowest rates identified in the map in the orange and red are where our lowest rates are. We can make impact there, just like we made impact here. We can go into those places and go deeper and work harder. There is a correlation between census tracts with higher poverty and a higher percentage of people of color. Now, this data gets a little bit hard to think about, but it's so important. First of all, of this 29 census tracts with above average minority population, and those are represented by what's in pink and in purple, 83% of those also have a higher than average poverty rate. If we look at the 41 census tracts with below average minority population, only 20% of them have a higher than average poverty rate. This is, of course, of concern because we know the percentage of Lincoln's population that are people of color will increase from 20.5% in 2020 to 35% by the year 2050. The link between being a person of color and poverty is compelling, and it should accelerate our work toward health equity. Place Matters includes several new maps this year. One of them is that shows the growth and the location of our older adult population, or those 75 and older. You know, the baby boomers started turning 75 this year, and it's projected that those age 75 and older will exceed those age 0 and 5 by 2025, and that's for the first time in history. This demographic shift is going to have implications for our community in many areas. Just think about the number of people who may be retiring from the workforce, but also think about the kind of workforce we'll need, especially in the area of elder care. These are things that we need to begin thinking about. We also included 2 new maps related to housing, and they're particularly related to rental trends for single-family homes. So if you have a single-family home that's owned, how many of them are shifting to rentals? We know that home ownership can lead to housing stability and to generational wealth. So we wanted to examine that trend and see the directions that it was moving. This map shows us that while there are many rental homes already in the core of Lincoln, there's a growing movement toward more rental homes in that blue area around the core of Lincoln. Now, having rental homes, many people choose to do that, and that's certainly an opportunity. What this map tells us is that we have to work hard to maintain the spirit of neighborhood and the spirit of human connections in neighborhoods where rentals are increasingly more common. And finally, just as Kim described this Schroeder Park Wellness Campus that we've been so proud to be part of, I want to reference another important project that has been impacted significantly by these maps. This is the Healthy Food Access Map. This is valuable in helping us know where healthy food is least accessible in a neighborhood. Using the information collected by the University of Nebraska Extension, CHE funded the purchase of a Healthy Food Lincoln Fresh food truck. It's operated by the Lincoln Food Bank, and Lincoln Fresh distributes fruits and vegetables, fresh produce, at 17 stops, all of which have been identified by the Place Matters project. In addition, the Healthy Food Access Project constructed a healthy food kitchen at the Community Action Partnership. That project is dedicated to providing fresh, non-processed food to our youngest children in Head Start, in the Summer Food Program, and other programs. This kitchen has produced 1.3 million healthy meals since 2019. Here's a picture of our friends at the food bank and the Lincoln Fresh truck. This is Place Matters in action. This is using the maps not just to learn something, but to do something. And that's why these are so powerful. I want to make sure that I recognize representatives from the food bank and from Community Action who are here and such a big part of this program. Would you guys wave at us? I know Michaela's here, John's here. So Place Matters maps have been used to fund culturally competent mental health services at the Asian Community and Cultural Center, workforce training at Bryan Health and Lincoln Literacy, mentoring for Native American youth. All of these folks are here today. Our funds are being invested in youth sports programming at the Malone Center and all the cultural centers, a new playground at Arnold Elementary, expanded access at the Bay's Indoor Skate Park. I know the Bay is here. And neighborhood connection and development in the Belmont area. All of this work is being guided by Place Matters. And every day there are people and agencies in Lincoln who are making this change, and we are so proud to work with them. And I want to especially acknowledge, as I did in the beginning, all of our grantees who are here with us today. Would you wave? Yay. They have used the power of maps to make deep and significant impact our community, and we are so grateful to you. Of course, this work could not be done, first of all, without displaying this information in such a powerful way, and all credit for that goes to our friend Reynold Peterson, who's in the back. Or if you ever need design work done, here's your guy.
This is my neighborhood.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And most importantly, this work could not be done without the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department. These are the folks who do this work. They are the data scientists. They are the epidemiologists. We get to display it in beautiful ways and talk about it and use it. They are the ones who are giving us the data to make this information. And they're represented here today by Raju Kakalapudi, by Health Director Pat Lopez, by Lata. Yeah. Is that right? Thank you. And I know Deborah Byrne, who could not be here today, but would you all applaud the health department and the work that they do? I also want to acknowledge the other partners, including the City of Lincoln's Urban Development Department, particularly Elder, Lincoln Public Schools, Lancaster County Medical Society. Joan Anderson is here today, Nebraska Extension, Partnership for a Healthy Lincoln. All of you, thank you so much. So I started my remarks. There are other maps here today. I have not talked about all of them. Take time to look at them, to explore them. We have extra map books for you to take with you. I'm happy to answer as questions, as I'm sure the department is. And we just hope that you will use this information to make and continue to make incredible, powerful change in our community. So I started my remarks by saying I care about Lincoln and its people, and I know somebody who without doubt is exactly the same, and that is the mayor of the city of Lincoln, and I welcome her today. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Lori, and thank you to Morning Hope for hosting all of us indoors where it's warm today, and thank you to all of you. It is so wonderful to be with you. And I want to give a special shout out to the health department for all that they're doing to help us be able to be together. It has not been an easy year and a half. It still isn't easy, but their determination and their heart and their continued work on all the other normal business of the health department perseveres. And I'm so grateful and feel very privileged to work alongside them. I also feel privileged to work alongside all of you. Thank you for gathering today. What you heard Lori say is, of course, true. Place matters. And our work as a city, as a community, is to make sure that every census tract and every neighborhood and every person has access to opportunities that helps improve their health and their lives and their families' futures. That's what this is really about. As Lori mentioned, it's not just about a map. It's about the people on the map. Through this data-driven information and visualized so beautifully in this new latest report, we see more clearly how we as a community can make even more targeted and strategic investments that will enhance everyone's opportunities to live better lives. And we can see where we can target those investments in places that need them the most. Lori mentioned some of the outstanding programs that have benefited and have their roots in Place Matters, of course, this campus being one of them. Here are a few other cases that I wanted to highlight just where the city is using this data and mapping to build a better future, a more equitable community. We are using this data, of course, to make targeted investments to improve the quality and livability of our city's oldest homes, many of which are inhabited by some of our most low-income residents. So one example we're really, really thrilled to be able to highlight is the fact that last year we received over $3.4 million from HUD, and this is for a 5-year project to address lead paint in some of these older homes. And of course, lead paint is a risk for young children. We've seen elevated blood levels of lead in some young children in our community. So spotting that data, working at the city with health and with our health department, our urban development department, building and safety, we've collaborated, and this 5-year project will address lead paint and other hazards too, like mold or ventilation and lead pipes in 165 Lincoln homes. So we are really, really determined to do good work, and we couldn't have done it without the Place Matters data. The new city-county comprehensive plan outlines a metric for creating what we call complete neighborhoods. And what complete neighborhoods do is try to make sure that we are identifying gaps and use those identifications to then guide investment in our neighborhoods. An effort that was highlighted in the paper recently, but that's important for making sure that no matter what neighborhood you live in, you have access to fresh food and nutritional food. You have access to green spaces that are healthy for our kids and families. The recently adopted city budget, it includes investments in parks and sidewalks and in older neighborhoods to promote healthy activities and to increase our safety. And I want to give a shout out, of course, to Lynn Johnson, our Parks Department, and to Maggie Stuckey for all the work that the foundation does to support those efforts. Our budget also includes an additional $710,000 for affordable housing. And of course, we have our coordinated affordable housing action plan that we're implementing in partnership with some of you. So thank you for collaboration with the city on these important projects. Our communities can certainly take a lot of pride in the outstanding data that is provided by the health department, which forms the backbone of these maps. And we can take pride in the fact that Place Matters reports don't just gather dust on a shelf. No. Thanks to all of you, these reports they're not static. They are springboards for action. And they are being used citywide, guiding really important efforts, decisions, and investments. And the true value of this data, of course, is not simply that it exists, but that we use it, that we act on it, and we make our city better for the next generation when we do that. I really encourage everyone, all of our residents, to spend more time with these maps, to understand more about where you live, learn more about parts of Lincoln that maybe are less familiar to you, and to maybe even examine what you believe about health equity and outcomes. You might be surprised about what you discover when you spend time with these maps. And as folks become more informed, of course, folks may become inspired to act themselves. And I know all of you can be catalysts for that because of the incredible leadership that you display each and every day when you get up and go to work. That truly is my sincerest hope, that more and more people decide to act. And as I look around today, I know that you share that hope. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the Community Health Endowment, the Health Department for this important project, and just say once again that while these maps are a snapshot, they don't determine our destiny. The actions we take together are what determine our community's destiny, and we can make it even better. Thank you so much.
I just want to close by saying again, thank you, obviously, to the Health Department and to all of you, and to remind you of a couple of things. One, the Morning Hope would be gladly give you a tour of their beautiful facility. Janelle would gladly give you a tour. And today we were supposed to welcome a small bunch of little people who were going to show us truly the impact on this on the next generation. But we didn't want them to, we thought the room would already be pretty full. But we know that you could see them if you simply walked across the parking lot and saw the beautiful park they now get to play in. We also want to tell you that if any of you would, yesterday the mayor announced that there is a thank you card campaign, or 2 days ago, thank you card campaign for our hospital heroes. We do have some cards here that if you would like to take those back with you, we would just ask that you use them. Don't take them if you're not going to use them. Take them, use them. You know, the spirit of gratitude and thankfulness is a healthy thing. And so use that as an opportunity to get the folks around you to express thanks to people who are doing amazing work. And lastly, thank you to the Morning Hope who allowed us to be here, shift everything indoors. You know, Nebraska weather. So we're glad that we had a place, and such a beautiful place to sneak into. So thank you to Morning Hope for letting us do that. Thank you all for being here, and enjoy your day.